Welcome to live. This is always so weird for me. Um, it's good to see you again. It's been a
Yes,
little bit.
it's so good to see you. It's been a while. I love
Yeah.
your bookshelves behind you. They just make my
Mm,
heart so happy.
thanks. There's a lot going on back there.
Yeah.
Um, well, welcome. It's fun to be back. We did this once before and it's fun.
Yes.
So I just to introduce us, I'm Jill Clifton. This is Monica Herald. Monica is the creator of the Things You'll Love Substack and does some business strategy work. You can find all of that stuff through her Substack bio. And yeah, we're here to talk about little things.
Yes. And
Yeah.
Jill, let me introduce you real quick for my
Okay.
people so that they know who you are. Jill is the founder and like heart and brains behind Landscape of Mothers, which is this incredibly powerful body of work that includes workbooks and workshops and a card deck and a book that looks at these nature mother archetypes and like how they show up in our lives and how they can guide us and inform us. I think that's a good like ten
Yeah.
second summary.
Yeah.
And then I'll hand it back to you, Jill.
Yeah. Well, part of why I love doing these with you is that we both have this small things mean a lot to both of us.
Yes.
And I think in your Substack, there's a lot of that, really orienting ourselves to small joys and things that we care about and finding ways for those to not take over our lives as to-do lists, but also
Ugh.
as just being able to fit inside of life as it is in all of its unpredictability and such as it
Yeah.
is these days.
Yes. Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. I
Um,
think, or sorry, go ahead.
okay.
No, I was just
Um,
gonna go.
um, no, I was just gonna say, I mean, in some ways, I think one of the things that we share is this, the way sometimes that's the way we reclaim our lives, right? Is through the small things.
Yes, yes. I'm looking here for my bag because I have like a I recently, this is not a small thing, but I recently like put a to-do list out of my brain into paper, and like this is my first page.
Oh my gosh.
And I shared
Right?
that not for like people to evaluate or zoom in and read, although I am definitely that person who sometimes on these things like pauses the recording and like looks. Uh, but 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 because it really is about finding those small like the things that fit, right? It's like how
Mhm.
can you fit stuff into everything else is already going on,
Yeah.
right?
Is there a small thing that you're really loving lately?
Oh. So it's kind of small, but it's also not small. Um I have someone who lives with me and that's been going on for about 6 months. Um it's it's a minor and they we now that it's been summer break because we were doing school up through middle of July, end of July. Um, in the afternoons, we go to the pool, and there's like a pool
Mm.
in the city near me that we go into. And I often bring work and like work from my laptop or from like a notepad like this one. I made that list while we
Mhm.
were at the pool actually a couple days ago. Um, but we're always there for like between 2 and 4.5 hours. So it's like the whole afternoon, which is why I bring stuff with me.
Mhm.
But often I get in with the person who I'm with for 20 minutes
Mhm.
and they're learning how to swim.
Mhm.
And um, we play like in the pool in a way that I haven't played in a pool. Gosh, I don't even know when the last time was because growing up, we didn't have a pool to go to, and like there wasn't a pool near us that we could pay to go into.
Mhm.
Um, so I would go with my friends sometimes and like we would walk from their house. But what sticks out to me about being a teenager at the pool is like the cute people that you're interested in are like the ice cream man coming and do you have 50 cents to go get an ice cream cone and laying out in the sun, but not actually like playing in the water, right?
Mhm.
And so I think like it's a bigger little thing
Mhm.
because it's like more of a commitment, right? For like me to be at the pool.
Right.
We came back today and there was definitely like some disappointment that we had to come back
Mhm.
today for this.
Mhm.
Even though it was like from the start, that was the plan. Um, but I just really like it feeds me so much,
Mhm.
you know?
Yeah. Yeah, it sounds like it is the big trek to get there, but there's also it sounds like there's some moments of like being in the water, and I really like viscerally identify with how different it is to be in the water as an adult than as a kid.
Yeah.
Like, and the way as an adult, it's really this like sensory like
Yes.
experience, and then play is such a beautiful thing to have come back. Like one of the
Yeah.
sweet things about living with minors is,
Right.
how they'll play and how
Yeah.
free that feels. And
Yes. And the last time I was in the pool before that was like in college when I would swim laps,
right,
which is
different.
such a different vibe, right? Like
Yeah,
it's just not the same. Yeah, so
yeah.
I think that's probably one of the little things. There aren't many days left of enjoyment for it because
Mm.
the season ends in a week at our
Oh,
pool, like at the
yeah.
city, and they're like post season. So we only have like another week or so left of that. But that's like a unique one in my life right now that really sticks
Mm,
out. How about you?
yeah. I love that it's such a seasonal one too, right? The water. Um, little things. I was really, really sick last week. So, little things like I can breathe is amazing. um, and also not little because that's really important. Um, but also a little bit of there was like a permission thing around when I got sick and I had all these things scheduled. I had like a public event scheduled and I actually rescheduled it and yeah, and so just appreciating the little part of that because it was kind of a big thing to do and it felt like a big thing. But the little part was sort of that permission to take care of myself because it's sort of a
Yeah.
different um, kind of a recovering people pleaser whatever. And yeah, but I was just way too sick. I couldn't and
Yeah.
it wouldn't have been good for anybody. So but yeah, I think that little moment was that internal moment of being like, "Oh, I could do this and I can just
Yeah.
be as graceful as I can about it and
And like not
trust in a way
powering
back."
through, right?
Yeah, the total old MO of yeah. So, yeah.
I
And then
love
I think
the idea.
oh, go
Or no,
ahead.
please go ahead.
I was gonna just say my other little thing is my garden.
Oh,
Picking
yes.
warm tomatoes is like my favorite thing.
I
So,
love the farm I go to. It's not seasonally, we're like just past it, but pulling blackberries off the
mm,
vines like while I'm at just like one or two, not picking blackberries, not any of that, but just like grabbing a couple blueberries and being able to like taste the warmth of them because
mhm,
it's a hot day. Yeah,
mhm.
yeah.
Yeah, there's something
Um,
really neat about that growing food and like in general, you wouldn't want like a mildly warm tomato or mildly warm berries. But like there's something really sweet about the whole, I think the ecosystem of all of it is what
Yeah.
brings that joy. Yeah.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
love how you talked about that decision to reschedule your event last
Mhm.
week as like taking care of yourself and like an act of care. How powerful.
Yeah, kind of a new idea, right? And I admittedly still went through all of the things of like, oh, disappointing people or, not following through on my word or whatever, all
Right?
those things that I had to work through first. Um, and I was really like, oh yeah, but none of these are taking care of me. So like I was able to keep going until I was like, what takes care of me? And I was actually like not doing the thing. Um, you know, yeah, I was so yeah, it was a took some getting there.
Yeah.
But it's funny how care can be like that, especially when it's our own self-care, right? And like when you're parenting or you're taking care of someone else, you know, it's appropriate that that care goes outwards, but I think it's easy to forget to bring it back.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely.
yeah.
Definitely.
So, um, so okay, so you noticed the care. What was that for you? Because like now I'm curious. So I mean that was my experience was like it's hard to care for myself and
Yeah.
stuff. But you named it. So do you have a
Mm.
thing about like is there something about care that's challenging or difficult?
Well, I think as my living situation has shifted, the my attention has shifted,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And so has I like love this word and I feel like it's almost lost its meaning. But my capacity,
Mm-hmm.
um I have a friend who has 3 boys, and she has often spoken of like being in bed by 9:30 at the end of like a day, like a work day, a school day, whatever. Um and like going to sleep then, and I feel that so much.
Hmm.
Like
Yeah.
there might be dishes in the sink that need to get done or something else that needs to happen, but once I've gotten through the outward care for others that I'm responsible for, um, that goes until like 9:15.
Hmm.
Sometimes I think care just looks like sitting on the sofa in the dark
Yeah.
downstairs, right? Um, because the child who I live with is very much like, "Are you gonna come up and go to bed?" Just like knowing that I'm in the room next to them is feels good for them.
Hmm.
But that is not the same as like sitting downstairs, even if it's dark, even if I'm kind of semi horizontal down here on the sofa, uh, maybe watching TV on my computer, maybe not, maybe reading, maybe like just sitting and like letting my brain do nothing.
Hmm.
Um, but it really does feel like some days I'm too tired to like even bother with that.
Hmm.
Um, this is not, I'm just looking to see if I have anybody around. This is not,
Hmm.
and I hope this isn't offensive, but I have a friend who used to say like, I just can't be bothered to like try an orgasm, uh, like on their own, because they were just like they were like, I just can't be bothered. And sometimes
Hmm.
that's how I feel about like sitting on my sofa doing nothing in the dark at 9:30 on an evening,
Right.
right? Like I just can't be bothered. I
Yeah.
just can't be asked. Um, and I don't know that that's always the right choice, right? Like sometimes the better choice, is to stand up and like walk around my block outside a couple times. It like
Mhm.
varies. But I
Mhm.
think for me, the challenge has become that there's just so much in my brain. I mean, like I
Mhm.
showed you my page.
Yeah.
There's so much in my brain that there's like a brain shutdown moment that happens, right? That's like
Mhm.
necessary, but also and is a type of care, but like is it the type of care that is going to be most like exponentially useful? Which is like, ha ha
Yeah.
ha, here I am like productivizing care, right?
Well, I think what I hear you pointing at is that when we're responsible for our own care, like when we're the ones doing the primary caregiving or the primary one responsible in the house for care in general, it coming back to us has huge dependence on our ability to just do the things that
Mhm.
would look like care.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. And yeah, and I was doing a workshop today on orienting to the inner mother, and we
Ooh.
talked about care, where we were talking about how hard it is to know sometimes. So speaking again to that capacity for our own
Yeah.
care is also like, do we know what we want or need right now? And depending on sort of the care ecosystem, the way we were taught about care and who's responsible for care, or
Yeah.
the roles that we're playing that require us to give care, or depending on how many other caregivers there are around, you know, you may not, it may be really hard to come back to that place of like, I know what I need and I have room to give it to myself.
Yes. Yes.
um, which is part of why I think those little things matter so much.
Yeah.
Like, not that we need to exist on breadcrumbs, but can we, like, it's a conundrum to give to ourselves without overextending
But
ourselves and giving ourselves away to
yeah,
do
well,
the thing. Like,
and I
yeah.
feel like it's like it doesn't have to be breadcrumbs. It can be like gourmet croutons, right? There's still like tiny
Mhm.
bread pieces, right? But there's like something still robust and like special and luxurious.
Mhm.
Um,
Yeah, they can be really lovely
yeah. Yeah.
pieces.
I feel like
Yeah,
breadcrumbs to me has such a connotation. I think of like Hansel and Gretel and the breadcrumbs, right?
right.
Or like, oh, there are only breadcrumbs left for this person to have, which like doesn't feel good. But
No.
if I think of it in terms of like something that is small but is like super high quality
Hmm.
and like concentrated, that feels better.
Hmm. Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. I do think there's a difference there. Yeah. And part of what we worked on in this workshop was depending on how well we learned to take care of ourselves, it may be hard to tell the difference.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I was gonna say, and it's
Yeah.
not that like breadcrumbs are bad either, right?
No.
Like sometimes
Yeah.
all you have left is the literal crumbs, and like
Yeah.
you can still eat those.
Yeah. And
Um,
sometimes a snack is totally enough.
right,
Like sometimes
right.
a snack is exactly what you want. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So how do you think people
connotations of that.
learn new ways to be able to tell?
Yeah. Well, we kind of talked about that because, I um, doing inner mother work a lot. I've thought at length and research whatever, but like the way that we create an inner mother, there's a lot of talk in the world about inner children. We don't often talk about inner mothers. And the
Mm,
inner mother is the one who takes care of us, right? The inner child is the one who often holds a lot of the needs. Um, and the inner mother is the one who will take care of them. And in the best case scenario, we have an attuned mother who tends to those needs, and we learn like, oh, I'm allowed to have those needs, and here's how I
yeah.
take care of them, here's the things that meet them. and if we don't have that, or there's some kind of disconnect or any reason that like those that care wasn't present, then we're sort of under resourced for meeting our own
Right.
needs.
And I feel like most people today are under resourced,
Absolutely.
right?
I mean, yeah, there's a whole anthropological context in which you could talk about how we lived in villages, and all of us are deeply undermothered, even if you had a great mother, because one person
Yeah.
isn't enough, right?
Right.
So there's that. Um, and yeah, but I think ultimately what ends up happening is that we get kind of iffy about being able to determine
Mm.
what our own care needs are. And so we talked today about the different, part of what we talked about was the difference between what we received as care, what we understood our expectations of care to be like. So, like,
Mm.
if we have an unattuned parent, then sometimes what we learn is like that our care, like, that our care depends on us taking care of someone else first.
Yeah.
So we learn to prioritize other people. We learn to really pay attention to their moods and needs. And so we externalize a lot of this, and we don't build that muscle of learning how to notice what our own needs are.
Yeah.
Um, and so
It's
we just
almost
looked at the difference between that and kind of the care, what care actually feels like. So we could
ooh.
start to get a little more granular about what did I learn about care, and then can I open it up enough to consider that my like there's a little bit of permission that slides in there too, of like
Yeah.
what care would feel like to me. Do I have permission to go want that or to go after that?
Yeah. And I really think what you were describing with paying attention to like other people, it's almost anticipatory, right?
Hmm.
Like how well can we anticipate what other people need?
Hmm.
Um that's so interesting
Yeah,
and
I think it's
sad.
yeah, it feels really sad. I mean, somebody literally said that in the workshop, of just like the noticing and the acknowledging kind of. I think it makes sense that we tend to push away those needs or that sadness in
Yeah.
order, when we're young, in order to just like make ends meet, kind of get through the day kind of things. And to revisit it is has grief in it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's there's loss.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. No, for sure.
So, but I
Mm.
also think there's something sweet about that, that like the more we can recognize our own needs,
Yeah.
like as ours, like not someone else's needs or humans have the need for, but like
Right.
actually ours, what feels like
Like
care
my
to me.
personal need,
Yeah.
Monica. Yeah.
Yeah. Because I
I
also
haven't.
think those little snacks like land different for
Yeah.
everybody, right? Like, so for me, sometimes a hand on my heart reminds me like to bring kindness to something, but I don't know
Mm.
that that's a gesture that works for everyone, or,
Yeah.
like, so we get to, the more I think we know about our own needs, the easier we can find the small gestures that are the like gourmet ones
Right.
that really
The truffles.
land.
Yeah.
Right, that really land where the snack does the job.
Yeah. Now
Yeah.
I'm reminded of this moment that has continued to stick with me and I think I will probably unpack for like my entire life. Um when I was gosh, I was probably in my mid to late 20s, I think. I was visiting a friend who I'd gone to college with in Boston. And I was staying with him and his wife or girlfriend. I don't remember. They might have been married at the time or not. Um, and I got terribly sick.
Mm.
Like, I think it was, and I didn't like throw up, but it came out of nowhere. Maybe it was food poisoning. Maybe, like, I don't know what it was, but I was like hot and cold and felt gross and was like, I had to go and lay down in the dark on my sofa and like not participate in the rest of the evening. And um, my friend had offered me, like, he brought in blankets or whatever. And I think I texted him and was like, oh, and I think I will take like the socks because he had offered me socks. And he came in and he put the socks on my feet.
Mm.
And even now, like, I don't know what it is about that that was such a profound moment for me, right? But like it was a moment of deep care, do
Hmm.
your thing. And one that, I when I had my back surgery, like I experienced similar types of instances, but because this particular one was not anticipated, it was like out of
Hmm.
nowhere. It wasn't like there was any mental prep that I was able to do on my own around the vulnerability that came with that. Um, the like, I couldn't even put my socks on sort of thing, right? Like, because I was so hot and cold and having chills and hot sweats, and it was just terrible. Um,
Hmm.
but when I think of like what is like the kernel of what care feels like for me, that's the image that I return to, right?
Hmm.
I'm not saying that's like self-care
Yeah.
because obviously like somebody else is putting on the socks, but like
Hmm.
that type of care is just so specific.
Yeah. And I think it's worth noting like the feeling of being cared for,
Right.
right? Because there's lots of ways to, I mean, hopefully there's lots of ways to get that feeling. And one of them was this just in service
Yeah.
response of a friend who cared and was like, "Here, I can go one step further than what you asked for, and I can actually like put them on you."
Right.
And also just like being able to orient to that
Yeah.
understanding of what good care feels like,
Yes. Yes.
um, is helpful. Like we talked about that a little bit too today
Yeah.
in the workshop of just, and then yeah, being able to have instances or moments of care
To like
to sort
anchor.
of, yeah, and to give a little more permission, like that means that's a thing, right? That you could ask for socks and someone would actually put them on your feet is an actual thing. Where like if I'm struggling to even think I could ask, then that extra care.
Yeah, I mean, it cracked me
Yeah,
open, Jill.
yeah, yeah. I can see why.
It just,
Yeah,
yeah. Yeah.
yeah. Mm, that's such a sweet thing, and like, yeah, I think it also like orients to like values around care. So I mean, I
Mhm.
think there's like the nitty gritty of care, and there's also like why we do care. Like I don't know, it just like I don't know, want to care for people like that. Like that's
Right.
I want that kind of care in my world too. I want to give it and I want to
Yes.
receive it. Like that kind of kindness with
Yes.
care.
Yeah,
Yeah.
kindness with care. That's a good word for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I know we said 30
Mm.
minutes and we're
Yeah.
coming up on that.
Wow. So
Yeah,
easy,
so
so quickly.
fast. Right. That's why I love these.
I know, me too.
I love them so much.
Yeah, me too.
Do you want to tell us a
Well,
little bit
wait, you.
more about your
Mm.
workshop?
Sure. The workshop is orienting to the inner mother, and it's just that sort of the orienting, like how do we start to locate um, what that looks like or feels like in us. I did the first one today. I'm running it two more times over the next couple of weeks. One is on Friday the 14th, and one is I think it's a Thursday, the 20th. So there's more chances to join in if people want to. And you can go to landscapeofmothers.com and it's under classes. So
Cool. And that's a free
um,
workshop, right?
it is. It's free. It's an hour and a half. I think I put it down in various places as an hour and a half or 2 hours, depending. We're right at an hour and a half today, but I think it's a spacious. Like there's room for us to be in it.
Yeah,
So
for like
um,
delving
so a
in.
little over an hour and a half. Yeah. So and free.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I'll have to see if I
Thanks.
can come to it. Yeah, it sounded really cool when you were just talking about it.
Yeah, thanks. What are you up to these days?
Oh, I was just before our conversation working on finding the items for this week's Things You'll Love newsletter.
Mm, mhm.
And that's here on Substack. It's coming out on Friday. It comes out every other week, roughly. We took a little bit of a hiatus, but we are back strong in our regular schedule thanks to a
Nice.
wonderful, amazing VA that I have who
Mhm.
is like a delight and such a gift. Speaking of small joys, not small joys, giant
Right.
joys. um,
Right.
but I mean
Mhm.
that's like the biggest kind of anchor in my life, apart from my business, which is like business strategy and book development editing. Um, but I love the newsletter, and it's my heart.
Yeah. I love it too. I think that like consistency of the reminders is in Landscape of Mother's World, that would just be so sun and moon, right? It's repetitive
Mm,
and
yeah,
yet it changes, and it's so sweet to just tap into something that comes like with, you can expect it, or you can kind of rely on it a little bit, and that it brings such
yeah,
like a reminder and a connection to the sweet small
right,
moments. Yeah.
yeah. Well, thanks so much for doing
Thanks.
this. I really
Yeah.
appreciate it. I will
Thank you for joining
post
me.
this
Excellent.
on. We'll make sure it's posted on somewhere on Substack.
It'll
Uh,
be around. I'm still learning Substack, so I'm not sure exactly
yeah,
where
the
it goes,
video
but
part specifically, I'm still kind
mhm.
of uh I was gonna say fumbling, but that's not the right word. So like massaging, playing with, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Dialing
okay,
in.
right, right. Well, thank you so much, and thank you to everybody who joined us
Thanks.
live. It's always
Thank
nice to
you.
see that people are here, and it's not. I mean, it's lovely
Yeah.
to talk to you, but it's also
Yeah.
encouraging always to see folks who've joined us here live. So thanks for coming along
Yeah.
for the ride.
Thanks.
Yes.
Perfect. All right. Well, thanks so much.
Yeah.
Thanks, Monica, for these conversations. I love coming back to do these again. So it's good to see you.
Yeah. We'll have to do it
And
more.
yeah, well, good luck with things you'll love. Can't wait to get my newsletter this week. And I'll
Yeah.
see you next time.
Sounds good.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.